Okay, so take all of that, and then we've got somebody who is just about to open a livery. They've just bought themselves some stables, or they're renting some stables because they want to be in the livery because they've got their own horses and they just need somewhere for those horses, and they're going to have some liveries on the side. Like, what do we say to those people about building this business? Because firstly, do we question if they're doing it for the right reasons, but also do we say, well, actually, you need to start with a message. Forget the livery business, start with a message first? Or do you just go for the livery because it's what you want to do?
So I can't really advise on that. So I'm going to have to speak to a hypothetical livery yard startup. And this excites me because I just wrote a fully comprehensive business plan for a livery yard. Like, someone's going in for an application. One of my clients wanted to apply for a livery yard. They needed cash flow forecast and a business plan. And they were like, Rhiannon, will you just write that for me? And I was like, of course I will. This is what I do for a career. So I said to her, I was like, you are an equine physio. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a livery yard around your speciality knowledge. Now, you might not be an equine physio. So maybe let's say that our hypothetical person isn't. Okay, you will still have a focus. Maybe it's showing, maybe it's dressage, maybe it's show jumping, maybe it's retirement. There will be something that you are interested in. So that's going to be your area of focus, your area of expertise. And it could be maybe that you have loads of native ponies who suffered with laminitis. So you create an environment that is perfect for rehabbing laminitic ponies. So you're going to create a specialist service that's different. Even if you can't offer something different, let's say you do want to just be a generalist. Okay, what's something that's going to stand out? Maybe you offer an all-inclusive livery package. It's not just full livery. Everything's included. You'll even pay for the farrier. You'll pay for the bodywork sessions. We're going for a really top end package, and that's included in one monthly subscription price that you pay to a livery yard owner. No one else is doing that. Absolutely nobody else is doing that. It's something totally different that you can offer that separates you from the rest. There is money in this industry if you know how to position it and add value to it.
That's what I was going to say. So it's not, we don't have to recreate the wheel, but we just have to add value and innovate maybe slightly on something which already exists.
100%. And I know that the biggest thing that people say is, oh, well, nobody will pay that. You might not pay that. Personally, I wouldn't buy a Porsche. Don't like them. There are other people in the world who will fork out their entire life savings for one. I wouldn't want one.
Yeah.
Like, I love an old school modified car. There are people out there who look at the car and go, oh no, that's a trav car. I wouldn't want that. And I'm like, yeah, I'd give you my life savings for it. I think it's amazing. Everything is worth what its purchaser will pay for it. And that was said by Publilius Sirius in the 1st century. So this is a very, very old saying. How can you solve a problem for somebody? Because when we stop saying, I do this, and we say, I solve this problem, you've just positioned yourself as high value. So when we talk about full livery, people say, oh, well, people don't want to pay full livery. So it's up to you to build that picture and be like, okay, put your dog in a kennel for a month. And I think you spoke about this on a recent podcast.
Yes, I did.
Put your dog in a kennel for a month and let me know how much that cost. Way more than a month's full livery for a horse. So that can be your brand message. And you can say that as your business. You can say, the reason that my full livery is expensive is because I'm looking after a horse, which is a luxury animal. And you wouldn't expect a dog kennel or a cattery to charge you less than this. So why would you expect me to charge you less than this? I'm offering you space for a luxury pet, not just any pet. And it's expensive. And if you want people to understand things, you have to explain it to them. We can't just expect people to understand the operational costs of a livery yard if they've never owned a livery yard. Stop expecting people to know things, fill their knowledge gaps. And this is why I say we have to educate people. We make them aware of problems. Now, for me, I love full livery, and it's an experience that I've only had since April this year. It has saved me so much time, and time is money in my industry. I offer consultancy on an hourly rate, and it's not a cheap hourly rate. So if I can save 3 hours of my time, that is worth more than a month's full livery. It's a no-brainer. So when we start positioning things as you'll no longer have to get out of bed at 4:30 in the morning to come muck your horse out and turn them out, and you're not going to have to rush down after work in the cold rain, that adds more value than saying I sell full livery at £700 a month.
So, yeah. Do you know what? Actually, just putting it so plainly like that, it's a no-brainer.
It is, isn't it? And these are the things that people leave out of their marketing. They say, I've got a lovely floodlit arena, I've got off-road hacking, I've got these stables, I've got this grazing, we have individual turnout pens, we have X, Y, and Z. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
You're not solving a problem for me. I think that's lovely. And I'm really glad that you've got those features, but you're not telling me how that benefits me. You say that you've got a riding instructor on site. Okay. You've got a riding instructor who specializes in confidence and helps riders who are wanting to come back into riding after pregnancy and feel like they're not as confident as they were in their teenage years. That's more valuable than we've got a BHS accredited riding instructor. Tell me the benefits. I don't care about the features. I want to know the benefits and how it's going to add value to my life.
Absolutely. I think that is a bit of a nugget for anyone watching this, I think, because we spent so much time, the past few episodes have actually all been about liveries. And that's a really great specific example about something that livery yards should be doing or considering. And actually that also ties into doing their research, because depending on the demographic of the yard, where it is, you're going to be potentially attracting very different people. So you need to start there first, don't you? Really, with it. You need to sort of work out who is your ideal client. Do you agree?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Because this is how you also... So I have moved through several livery yards and I've met several livery yard owners and obviously been in the equine industry since I was a toddler. I've met all kinds of people from all different walks of life. And I would be lying if I hadn't said that this is going to happen. You've been on a livery yard. There's that bitch.
Yeah.
There's that person that you just want nothing to do with. And you're like, you see them and you're like, they make your blood boil. That's the same for livery yard owners. There will be someone who comes on their yard and they're like, oh, if I had a reason to get rid of you.
Yeah.
So let's start from the beginning. Why not just fill your yard, fill your facility with people who you actually like? Not people who think, oh, I'm going to pop outside and have my coffee in the garden. No, I'm not, because I've just seen Sandra come up the drive. Why not start from the beginning and just say, right, actually, I want people who are, let's go for an example. So I like dressage. So I want to fill my yard with people who are also interested in dressage. I want to fill it with people who are over the age of 21 because I don't want teenagers running around the place with their opinions. I want to fill it with people who stay in their own lane. They're not going over and they're not telling Kelly that she should have her horse in this bit and that she should be doing X, Y, and Z. So I don't want nosy parkers. I want people who are supportive, people who are kind, and I want people who pay their bills on time. So in order for me to get that, I'm also going to request a reference from your last livery yard. And if you can't provide me with one because you left on bad terms, you're not coming to my yard. Nope, not today. And it's when we can do that, we also make our life easier, because we put a lot of obligation on what we do for the people in our business, but not a lot of obligation on what they should be doing for us as a business owner, like turning up on time, sorting their horse by an appropriate time, not leaving it in the field waiting for someone else to bring it in, paying their bills on time, not using more hay than they should be doing. Those are their obligations to us. Think about them and put the boundaries into place. And that's going to make life so much better. And like you say, once you've decided who you want to work with, you can then get inside those demographics and be like, okay, so if I've got a 20-something wannabe dressage rider, 20-something, early 30s dressage rider who wants to focus on getting out, competing, maybe going into affiliation, what are the problems within that they are going to have that I can help with and position myself as a solution to that problem? And then you will start attracting those type of people into your business. And you're not going to have the people who are keeping their horse on a budget and can't afford to pay you every month and they're giving you excuses after excuses, because you're focusing on a certain type of people. And then the next thing that people always say off the back of that is, but aren't I cutting my audience in half? I'm messaging at one person, so I'm now losing income. No, you're not. You're increasing your income because you stopped being generic. So the people who it applies to are naturally drawn to you and say, oh yes, this is amazing. It's perfect for me. I want to pay a premium service for this because it's built for me. It feels custom. It feels tailor-made.
Yeah.
We're not marketing to everybody. And that's where we lose money, because when we're being too general, that's when we get no customers. Boring doesn't appeal to anybody. Generic doesn't appeal to anybody.